Boom. All right, guys. So if you don't know me, my name is BBURRELL. I go by BBURRELL. Grateful for access. I'm showing FP. Trading has been a huge blessing in my life. It's something that I do subconsciously now. I don't think about it. That's why I can see her teachers call in the middle of a parking lot. I started learning how to trade back in 2017. And I now call myself an expert because the level of trading I'm at now just blows my mind. I'm sorry, I got my head popped loose. And I want to be able to pass that along to so many different people. I've done master classes in the past. I just did my last one about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I tell people all the time, when it comes to the skill of trading, the trading space is a space that requires a different philosophy, and it requires a different perspective and a different way of learning. You have to change your perspective, because most people that are introduced into the trading space, they're introduced on how to make money. And I don't teach people that way. I teach you how to get the skill set, and I teach you how we're not focusing on money. So if you want me to mentor you, our conversation is not going to be about you making money. Our conversation is going to be, how can you become a professional? And then that skill set and the money is a byproduct of your professionalism. And you also have to have the right philosophy about money. If you have poor money management, like right now, I'm going to share a testimony as well before we get started. Right now, I'm in the middle space of building out a DAEDAEKEYKEY Academy, because the full spectrum and the full mindset that people need to really trade is so many parts that's still missing. Like, I can teach y'all how to catch entries and breaks and retests and stuff like that. But ultimately, there's a whole different paradigm you need to even be sustained, to be able to sustain inside this industry. 95% of people don't reach the level of success that they want in this industry because they don't have the right perspective. They don't understand the right amount of capital. You know, you can blame it on skill, but ultimately it's people's mindset. So the academy I'm building out, I waited 2 months for access to a mentor of mine. She has a program, and I have been waiting since April to get access. You can say, April 30th to get access to her program. And so I built out the academy through a PowerPoint, and then I waited for access to her academy, y'all. It opens enrollment. She opened up the enrollment. I went to Puerto Rico, so it's probably around like July 20 something. I come back from Puerto Rico to sign up. I have been communicating with her. Like, I'm so excited. I can't wait, because this is the next step I've needed to come in completion to my own academy. She's cleared 7 figures. She has 3 different academies. She's mentoring thousands of people. Like, I respect her and I really look up to her. Especially, I've personally been a student of her social media academy, and her professionalism is just through the roof. Go to sign up for the enrollment for the build it. It's an online course boot camp. And guess what? The enrollment is shut down. And so I literally go to her admins. I go to her Facebook groups. I'm reaching out to every single person, like, please let me in this course. Like, I need this course. This is the time in my life. Like, I'm very strategic in my goals. I knew my next goal said boot camp course. And I was waiting for access. Enrollment is blocked. She emails me back. Her admin says, I'm sorry, enrollment won't open back up until the end of the year, maybe. I'm like, bro, I can't wait till the end of the year. I need this right now, because this is my next goal sheet. This is my next bullet. Then I said, bump it. I'm on my bike. I'm riding. I'm sweating. It's hot. And I paused in the middle of my session, and I said, I got to hit her up on Instagram. I sent her a message. I'm doing a video message. Hey, so-and-so, I need you. I need this course. I need this class. I understand mentorship is a shortcut to success. I believe in what you have. I'm basically begging. All right. And so that turned into, I said, you know what? Let me show you how serious I am. I sent her a screen recording of all 3 phases of the academy that I have built out for DAEDAEKEYKEY. And she's basically was like, wow, blown away, because I had prepared for that moment. I had prepared to get access to that moment. And long story short, guys, I got access. This academy is about to be ridiculous. It's about to be something you've never seen before. And I'm so grateful to God for the humility to first ask to get access, the begging, whatever I needed to do to show myself, what word I'm looking for, to show myself, qualified. I qualified to get her mentorship. That's the difference. Because she saw my drive, and somebody said the word drive in the chat box. So that's why I had to bring this up. She saw my drive and she saw my preparation before I even signed up with her platform. But that's an obstacle that I have almost faced. I sent out the message, I sent out the video message, and I said, you know what? After I sent out everything that I could do, I understand my relationship with God. And if people know me, they know how strongly I am about my faith. And I said, all right, God, I look up at the sky. I said, now it's time for you to intercede on my behalf. And this is what most people don't have, is what I'm about to tell you next. I said, God, if this is not where you want me to go, please give me the perspective and the awareness to see that this is not the direction you want me to go in. Most people don't have that. They only want what they want, and they don't understand that there's different doors that can be open for you. And so anyway, guys, 10 minutes later, she hits me back, has me sign a waiver, and I'm locked in, and I have been locked in ever since. And so I just wanted to share that testimonial with you. The reason I brought that up is because when it comes to learning the skill of trading, it's not just a skill set. You have to have self-initiative. That is why I brought that up. Self-initiative. I had an obstacle, but I didn't see it as an obstacle. I saw it as, okay, there's still a door that's going to be open. This may not be the door. Thank God it's the door that opened, because that's the one I really wanted. But ultimately, it's what he needed. It's what he wants for my life. And so you guys have to be able to have that level of awareness. But when it comes to learning the skill of trading, you have to understand is, can you talk yourself to do the next task? Can I do the homework? Can I do this? Can I do that? And that's why so many people struggle with trading, because you have to have self-initiative. And I'm building out a self-paced course. You still got to log in. You still got to click the different buttons and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, trading, unless you're going to college for investment management, guys, you have to have self-initiative, and you cannot be focused on just making money. The money comes when you learn the skill set. And so that's why it kind of gets mundane when you're trying to instruct a lot of people, because they won't get it. They're not grasping the fact that we're not talking about money on today. I need you to understand structure. I need you to understand risk and reward. I need you to understand risk management. Like, let's get these philosophies down. Let's get this discipline down, and everything else will fall into place. So that's the thing you have to ask yourself on tonight. Are you even qualified to learn? And that's the structure I'm building out for my own academy. Are you even qualified to learn right now? Because you can't be desperate for money. You can't be out here trying to be flip money. That's not what we have. Trading is a very, very small community of professional traders and experts. Everybody gonna say they trade, but not everybody's an expert and a professional. And you have to make sure you identify who do you want to be inside this space so you can reap those results. So that's just a question I want you guys to ask yourself on tonight. Who do I want to become in that space? And am I prepared and ready to learn? All right. If you have poor money management and all the other stuff, you're not ready yet, because it's it's like putting deodorant on somebody that didn't take a shower. Like that's what you are. I mean, you know, y'all get the analogy, right? So I just want to get into let's get into just some data and Kiki, and I want to do some Q&A as well. So my first question for you guys on tonight is, of course, besides are you ready to learn, my second question for you is, what are some things that you would like to strengthen within your skill set? What are some things that you want to improve on inside of this space, right? Because some of you guys may be already doing pretty well in your trading. So I want to ask that question. What are some things that you want to improve on in this trading space, or that, you know, you just want to grasp and it's not just clicking sometimes, right? Let me know in the chat box, and we're gonna go for now. I'm gonna cut this key off. Okay, battery. Perfect. Let's see what we got. All right, guys. So what are some things you want to work on? As you guys are doing that, I'm going to bring up my PDF here. Kiki trainer. Screen broadcast. Okay, so right here. Okay, so as you guys see the document, I used to use this for my other mentees. I wanted to show you guys this. So does anything on this particular page stand out to you? Okay, something that you know you need to improve on. Please drop that in the chat box for me. Let me see if I can log into my other phone. Take a second and really, really look.
And I know that sounds.
Okay, let me check the chat box because I can't see. Can't see the chat box from this screen. All right, perfect. Let me bring it back up. Uh-oh. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna bring that slideshow back up, guys. And if anything stands out to you, please drop it in the chat box. What's something that you would like to improve on? Just look at all these bullets and drop it in the chat box. Because I promise you, this is all trading is. All right, we got trailing. We got to improve on mastering the skill of understanding the trades. All right, perfect. Anybody else? You'll see that emotional intelligence is on the left. And then everything else is the 10%, which is skill. Honestly, risk management is 90% to me. 90%. Understanding that. I'll make some modifications to this. We got greed. Okay, good. Keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. That's amazing. Let me know what you want to improve on. You have to look at this as a career. I think a lot of people look at it as I want to flip some money, and it's okay if that's your perspective. I don't want to knock you for having that perspective, but I'm just not, I've went through phases of I'm a beast trader, I'm a professional trader, and now I'm an expert trader. Like, just consistency. Oh, there we go to work. Consistency. Keep it coming. On looking at this screen, what are some things that you want to improve on, or some things you would like to know or strengthen? Keep it coming. I'm gonna give y'all 60 more seconds. Risk to reward. That is the sauce right there. If you understand risk to reward and emotion, risk to reward and risk management, listen, that's all you need. Keep it coming, guys. What's some things you want to strengthen? What's something you want to know, or something you want to improve on? I got greed, lack of gratitude, revenge trading, paralysis by analysis, euphoria, fear of missing out, fear of the markets, fear of losing money, over trading, pimp obsession, overconfident, invincibility, cockiness, how to calculate pips, lot sizes, placing different orders, risk management, risk to reward, news, trends, support, resistance, consolidation, pullbacks, flags, retracements, breaks and retests, chart markups. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and we're gonna get into some stuff. All right, so the first thing you guys want to understand is, so we have somebody that says mastering the skill and understanding the trade. So I'm gonna start with that one because that one is not so simple to just kind of answer. So when it comes to mastering the skill, anything you want to become a master in is really just practicing over time. So I'm going into my 5th year of trading, but that's including my learning curve. So I think for me, the learning curve, you'll find out what your style is, what your technique is, what your confirmations are. But I think once you get into a place of consistency, that for me, that's where the skill set begins to build. Like when I do my master classes, or if I'm doing one-on-one sessions with people, they have a responsibility to do their homework. And if you don't do the homework, I know for a fact you won't learn the skill. But homework comes from being able to do live interaction with the market, because we can teach you structure, breaks, and retests or whatnot. But I can't teach you how to predict November 15th, 2022. It hasn't happened yet, right? We need structure to guide us, and so we can have some of that back testing. So it's going to take for you to find out what your confirmations are first. And then once you identify your confirmations, then you stick to that formula and don't change. You just don't change ever. All right. So the first question you want to ask yourself is, do I have my confirmations down? Consistency key. Do you know what your confirmations are? Do you know what you're looking for when you open up the chart? Do you know without a shadow of doubt, this is the only way that I trade? This is my only style. If it's not there, I'm not trading on today. So those are questions you want to ask yourself. If when it comes to trailing, I have a video on trailing, JD. Would you like me to drop that link in the chat? Because I already have that on my YouTube channel. We got greed, consistency, risk to reward. I got risk to reward on there as well, and then compounding. So let me drop this video link for you guys. It was something that was catered to my Signals app, but you can leverage it as well. It's the same. I mean, information is the same. All right, so let me go get that for us 1 second. DAEDAEKEYKEY. All right, here we go. So you guys will see a list of topics on this playlist. So this is a playlist that has lot sizes, pips, risk to reward, trail and stop profit, trading in slow markets. And then there's also 2 bonus videos that would teach you budgeting, because most people, you know, my perspective when it comes to trading and that this is not the last of what I'm going for. It's just a vehicle that I use. So trading for me and now it's just another business. I've kind of outgrown the need some money stage. It's a business for me. So and when I say business, I'm not talking about my signals and my apps and stuff like that. I'm talking about my own personal account. This is my business. This is my career, if that makes sense. And those 2 bottom videos you guys will see is about budgeting basics, and that will give you a whole nother perspective on why I keep telling everybody, don't just limit yourself to I want to be a trader. Like, no, I want trading to be a part of my income, and you want to start leveraging that for other avenues of a passive income, if you will. So yeah, just check out that playlist. And for those of you who want to learn more about DAEDAEKEYKEY, I got a little bit more here, stuff right here. DAEDAEKEYKEY intro. So I would suggest looking at that playlist. It's a little bit more long-winded. So I'm gonna drop that one in the chat as well so you guys can have it. Because again, if you've been with me for quite some time, you know, this stuff starts to sound very redundant, which is a good thing because that means consistency. Okay, cool. So the second thing I saw was, okay, so my people who want to know about trailing, risk to reward, look at those, that first video, that first link. Did everybody get the link? I just want to make sure it came through the chat. Yes or no in the chat? The first link. The second one is DAEDAEKEYKEY, but the first one is different trading topics. Okay, good deal. All right, so I saw one I want to speak on. So we got greed and compounding. Okay, cool. So let's talk about greed and compounding. The markets are really shaky tonight. So, I mean, I can go back and do some stuff from last week, but the markets, I don't like markets. So I can do a quick version of DAEDAEKEYKEY tonight. So when it comes to greed, you have to understand, because I'm gonna tell you, for me, greed is either 2 things, either desperate for money or ignorance to risk to reward. So, and not understanding the amount of capital you have. You first have to understand what are you willing to risk per trade. My risk management is less than 0.5%, is actually 0.5%. All right. So I don't risk no more than 0.5%, usually 1/4%. All right. So you have to identify, what am I willing to risk per trade? Some people do 3%, 1%, 6%. I found longevity in doing less than 0.5%. Okay. The second thing is you want to understand the right amount of capital you need in your account. Greed is either you're wanting to see numbers in your account that your capital cannot reap. All right. So meaning you don't have enough capital in your account to see the type of returns that you want to have, but you're forcing those returns because maybe you've had a good trading week this week, whatever. It's something inside of you that's like, okay, well, we you know, for instance, I went 3-0 last week, 5-0 the week before that. We almost went 7-0 the week before that, but that Friday I sent out a trade and it didn't hit, right? So 7-1. So the thing is like, and that's just in my signals app. That is not including my personal account. So just because I win a lot, it doesn't make me bend my rules. Y'all have to understand that. I don't care if I'm 100%. It doesn't, that doesn't phase me. It's about, I know with what is ingrained and embedded in my brain is that I can go 20-0, but that one loss, if I get too cocky, can wipe out all them 20 trades I just won. So I'm no longer in the space of, I just want to make money and da. No, I need to protect this capital because I got a family I need to retire. I got a mom that I'm trying to get some big things happen for my mom. I got big goals, and it can't just be about this moment, right? So you guys have to understand that. So what amount of capital do you need in your account to see the type of returns that you need? So for my person who said greed, let's have a conversation. Do you know how much money you want to make per day? Do you know how much money you're willing to risk per position? And do you understand how to calculate your stop loss in accordance to your risk management? So if you say I want to risk no more than 1% per trade, 2% per trade, do you know how to calculate that between your lot size and your pips? So it's math behind all that, you know. Okay, good. So it's really what it boils down to. And if you feel yourself over leveraging, because greed is just, I want to see more money, or either I'm desperate for money, or, and you also can't do this. Trading is a phenomenal space. There's been I sent out signals since February of this year. I've had 1 week where I did not send out a single trade because the markets were not high probability. That doesn't mean you can't go trade your personal account. But for me, I'm trying to catch winning trades more than none, right? So you have to make a decision. It's not always going to be profitable setups. So if you want trading to be, okay, great, over leveraging, that just means you need more capital. That's really what it boils down to. Yeah, it's just more capital. So if I know I need more capital, I need to seek the information and the knowledge and the resources for me to get more capital, right? So, and I promise you, you ain't the only person that is dealing with that. Everybody on this call probably needs more capital in their account. They're just not admitting it, right? So what happens is, okay, if I know, let me give it to you this. Let me get it this way I can put it. I'm gonna just use the word number 100. Maybe you want to make $100 a day, $200 a day. Let's just do that type of goal. You also have to understand that is the amount of money you have to be also willing to risk. Okay, everybody got that? Yes or no? Whatever I want to make per day or per trade, I have to also be willing to risk that amount. Okay, that's the first rule. That's called risk to reward. Secondly, if you want to make $100 a day, you need to be willing to lose $100 a day. I mean, per trade. Okay. The second question is, if you want to make $100, what is the percentage that applies to based off of your account balance? So if you say, B, I want to risk 1% per day, okay, then you need to figure out what amount of capital makes $100 1%. Does that make sense to you guys? What amount of capital do I need in my account for $100 to be 1% of the balance? Okay, y'all got me? Which is $10,000, by the way. So 1% risk, meaning you're willing to lose 1% per trade. Okay. So let me share my screen and get some visual going on for some of my people. Okay. Y'all good so far? Y'all with me? If you with me, drop some ones in the chat box. Some good for the ones and twos. Okay. Ones if you with me, twos, you're getting there. All right. So if somebody say, BBURRELL, I want to make $100 per position. I don't say per day because you can make $100 in 2 seconds of trading. So I'm gonna say per position, at least $100 a day. How about that? So you want to make $100 a day. This is how you identify how much capital you need, ladies and gentlemen. It's first based off of what is the risk percentage. Are you willing to risk 1% of your entire account balance? 2% of your entire account balance? 3%, 5, 10. You got to figure out that number. Okay, so write that down. What percentage of my entire account balance am I willing to risk per position? Then you say, okay, I only want to risk no more than 1%, 2%. So let's just say you're going to do 1% today. So I know what I'm willing to risk is 1%. Check. The second question is, what am I willing to risk? And then let me do this. Willing to risk. Okay. Now the question is, what percentage? In percentages. Okay. And then what dollar amount equates to that percentage? Okay. So if I want to risk no more than 1%, great. Then I also want to make $100 a day. All right. So the next question is, what amount of capital do I need? Okay. For $100, capital do I need for 100 to be 1% of my entire account balance? Okay. Y'all with me? Okay. That's what I need to be asking myself. What am I willing to risk in terms of percentages? All right. And that's per trade, per position. Okay. Then I want to know, all right, if it's only going to be 1%, then I want to make at least $100. But if it's $100, if $100 is 1%, then what amount of capital makes $100 1%? And that is $10,000. 1% of 10,000 equals $100. Whatever I'm willing to gain, I also need to be willing to risk. All right, so y'all got those questions? I'm just typing my thoughts up. You said, can you see what we're typing in the chat? You can't see my screen? I'm trying to understand the question, Ms. Hall. Can we see what you're typing in the chat? Y'all can't see my screen? Somebody said they can see my screen. These 500, or some people don't left my chat. It was like 530 people in here. They can't get these questions because they ain't on the call. So this is not going to be posted in the chat. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can take a screenshot. I can paste it over to Zoom. So cool. Everybody can see it. All right. So whatever I'm willing to gain, I also have to be willing to risk. So if I know $100 per position is what I want to make, and I know I need $10,000 in my account. Now, this is the next question. Y'all getting so much sauce right now. I hope y'all catching this. This is where most people don't know. Okay. She said she can't see them. You can't see me screen sharing. You might want to log out and log back on because I'm screen sharing. Everybody else can see it. I'm screen sharing. These questions are not being posted in the Telegram chat. I am only making a pre-message in the chat. The message is not posted. I haven't sent this to anywhere. It's just I'm typing inside this box. Okay. So anyway, I'm also willing to risk. So the next question is, if I know I'm willing to make $100 a day, okay, and I'm also willing to risk. Ms. Hall, what kind of phone you using? You must got an Android. I shouldn't have said that. It's just this. I ain't did nothing. Three seconds. 3, 2, 1. Screenshot. 3, 2, 1. Screenshot. And the last question is that one. 3, 2, 1. Screenshot. 3, 2, 1. Screenshot. Don't try to write, just screenshot. So the next thing is, if I know I'm willing to make or lose $100, which is 1% of my entire account balance, the next thing I have to ask myself is, how many pips is in my stop loss? Okay. How many pips is in my stop loss? So let me just move this out of here. Okay. How many pips is in my stop loss? Again, just screenshot. Don't type. How many pips are in my screenshot? Okay. I mean, stop loss. All right. So based off of the formula I'm doing right now, I got a $10,000 account. 1% of that account is $100. Okay. And that's what I'm willing to gain and lose. Is everybody with me? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Lose. I'm having a brain fart. I don't look right. So many different ways to spell lose. Okay. All right, that's it. So the next question is, how many pips are in my stop loss? So my pips are usually 20 to 30. In rough seasons, I might tweak it to 35. And the reason I only do 35 is because I have to do it. That's another training for another day. But 20 to 30 pips is my average stop loss. You can do more pips if you reduce your risk. Meaning, if you know you can do a 30 pip stop loss with your dollar lot size, but you need to increase your lot size to 50 pips, then take their lot size down to 50 cents. Okay. Reduce the lot, increase the pips. Does it make sense? So when people say, oh, it was a 30 pip, but I lost more money, you should have reduced your lot size. Does it make sense? Don't keep the same lot size if you change to stop the pips. Do not keep the same lot size if you increase your stop loss pip in terms of pips. Okay? I hope somebody caught that. Reduce the investment size if you are going to increase the pips in your stop loss. I just got to say it 3 different ways. Cool. So the next question is how many pips is in my stop loss? So if I'm willing to gain a risk $100 in my, let's just do 30 pips, stop loss, that means I can only invest $3 per position, ladies and gentlemen. That's a $3 lot size times 30 pips stop loss will take me out at $300. I mean, at $100. Does that make sense, family? Yes or no in the chat. 1 for yes, 2 for no. I'll say it again. Because it doesn't matter how many times you win. If you do not understand risk to reward and risk management, it's completely null and void. It doesn't matter if you can win a lot. You have to understand risk to reward and risk management. So the question was, for example, I got a 30 pip stop loss. Okay. $100 divided by 30. What my little backslash? Boom. Equals 3.33 based off of my calculator. The 3.33 is my lot size. Y'all with me? Anybody got a question? I'm gonna pause. So whatever I'm willing to lose, whatever I'm willing to gain, I have to be willing to lose. Whatever I'm willing to gain, I have to be willing to lose. Once I figure out what I'm willing to gain and lose, I divide that by my stop loss. Whether it's a 30 pip stop loss, 50 pip, 20 pip, whatever you're doing, that will give you your investment size. $3 on a calculator is a 0.30 in the MT4 app. Okay, that's what the lot size will look like. It reads as 0.30 in the MT4 lot app. So every time you lose a trade, you shouldn't be, oh my God. You shouldn't be calling on the name of Jesus every single time you in red. You should already know that that thing was going to lose $100 if you was asleep, phone got ran over, whatever. Y'all with me? Now, you also have to understand risk to reward. If you are willing to, so that the key is this, you can lose as much as you want because you know what you're willing to lose, but you can gain as much as you want because you can gain more than you have. So maybe you don't go for a 30 pip profit goal. Maybe you got one position that goes for 30 pips and maybe the second position goes for however long you want it to float. All right. Maybe it goes for 100 pips. Maybe it goes for 200 pips. So now, whatever you were willing to risk, whatever you was willing to risk, so we're going to call it risk to reward. So the first trade, you secured $100. So that's called a 1-to-1 ratio. The first one is the risk side. The second one is the reward. If you whatever you was willing to risk was also what you were willing to gain. So that's 1-to-1. All right. If you 1-to-2, that means you made 2 times what you were willing to risk. Okay. So this is what people are missing. Okay. Don't get all caught I want to make all these pips. No, you need to focus on percentages. That is why your account doesn't go higher. And your stop loss cannot be greater than your reward, ladies and gentlemen. Please remember that. You can't have a 30 pip stop loss with a 10 pip TP. It doesn't work that way. All right. You have to understand risk to reward. Now, if you're going for 10 pip dip, the only way that works is in my signal chat because I hit a lot of I rarely lose. So that's the only way that really works. 10 pip dip. But outside of that, realistically, you guys have to understand you can't have a 50 pip stop loss with a 20 pip take profit. Okay. And if you do, you better be winning a lot. Okay. So I just wanted to clarify that when somebody asked about You know, we was talking about greed and was talking about consistency, and over leveraging or whatnot, risk to reward. Like that's the formula, ladies and gentlemen. So when we went, let's go back to having how much capital do I need? This should answer your question. This should help you figure out how much capital you need. Okay. And remember, you may not be willing to risk 1% per trade. Maybe you want to do 3% per trade. If it's 3% and you still want to make $100 a day, let me do one more example and we're moving on. You risking 3% per trade and you still want to make 100 per trade. All right. Remember, you got to be willing to gain and lose that. Okay. That at least gives you a 1-to-1 ratio. So let's do 3%. So how much capital do I need in my account for $100 to be 3%? Anybody know that one? How much money do I need to have in my account for $100 to equal 3%? If y'all ready to if you want me to let you know, say BB, let me know. I'll tell you right now. If y'all want me to let you know, say BB, how much money do I need in my account for $100 to be 3%? Somebody said 30,000. Anybody else? All right. So the answer, ladies and gentlemen, is $3,300. I thank you guys for trying. Okay. 3,300 times 3% equals $99. So we'll say 33. Let's do 3,350 times 3%. All right. So you're going to need $3,350. 3% of that amount. 3% of 350 equals 100. Y'all see why this math is so important? You got to know how to calculate those percentages. That's why people do not stick into trading for so long. Like they want to see these 7-figure accounts, 6-figure accounts, but you got to understand the math formula. So this particular scenario is where somebody wants to risk 3% per trade. So that's $3,350 for an account balance. Okay. So now from there, you just go from the questions you have to ask yourself. So if I'm willing to make 300, I also have to be willing to lose 300. And then if my stop loss is 30 pips, you just divide 100 by 30. Okay. That's still to give you $3 and $3. Okay. But now understand you are increasing your risk with a smaller account balance. Okay. That makes sense. Now, if you were doing 30,000 times 3%, that's $900. By the way, $30,000 account at a 3% risk, that's $900 you're willing to risk per trade. All right, so you guys play around with the math so you really understand that. But at that point of time, once you understand the risk to reward calculation, you can be properly putting in the correct lot sizes. You can be investing, you can have the right amount of capital in your account, and all that'll be in my course. Like I have the math, the formula, exercises, activities to make sure you guys understand the math. But the key is once you got that down pat, you now don't have to stress about over leveraging and greed. You know what I'm saying? And from that space, now we find where can we get these resources? You got the option of actually just simply saving money for however much time you need. Maybe it's going to take you 6 months. Maybe it'll take you 12 months to save the capital. You can go through a 401k. If you already have a savings, you can make a withdrawal from savings. Any investment portfolios, you can leverage your credit. If you have amazing credit, instead of using your credit to go buy a car or a house, you use your credit to get a personal loan or business loan. And it don't have to be no big loan, just 10K, 15K. And then you put that amount of capital into your trading account and you respect the capital that you got. You don't go still over leveraging this. It'll be completely in vain. You got a loan for no reason. You made a withdrawal out of your savings and investment accounts for no reason. If you don't have the discipline to manage your wealth, don't even do all that. All right. And then the last option would be what we call a trading proprietary trading firm, where you could partner with a company. They have these venture capitalists that want to see some returns. So they say, hey, we'll give you you know, $10,000 for $100. So you register for $100, maybe $300, something like that. You pay them $300, they give you $10,000 worth of capital that you can trade with and make a profit. You split it either 80-20, 70-30, 50-50, depending on what prop firm you go with. Okay. So the solutions are out there, guys. I mean, worst case scenario, best case scenario, get with a proprietary trading firm. That's what I leverage a lot now. I don't even use my capital for trading too much anymore. I just flip those accounts, grow them, and every time I grow my account, it doubles my account size. So those are different things that you have at your discretion. But again, it don't matter if you don't understand risk to reward or understand risk management. You don't even know how to calculate your risk. You'll shut your account down really quick, right? So it's beyond just breaks and retests and all that. Like, okay, that's cool, but I promise you guys, if you don't understand risk management and risk to reward, you're not trading well. Like, you won't trade well. I don't care if you had a $10,000 day, $17,000 day. That stuff come and go. All right. We're planning to live here to some olden years, right? Some old age. Your little $17,000 day, $10,000 day ain't gonna hold you for 50 more years. All right. So you got to think about beyond the moment. Okay. You got to think beyond the moment. And again, some of you guys may just need some money, all that stuff. Listen, if you get your credit right, if you always have your finances in order, you're not always looking for a way out. All right. You always get your finances in order. Your financial philosophy and your financial education will be your insurance against the economy. All right. So people, you got to get your philosophy right. You got to get your house in order, because God can't bless you anyway on the trading side or any investment side. If you don't have your own house in order, why would I bless you? Why would I send a blessing to a space where it's cluttered and trashy and it needs to be cleaned up? Like, I don't want to add a blessing on top of unorganization, right? So you got to think in that right perspective, guys, right? Okay, great deal. No problem at all. Yeah, risk management is a big deal, and I don't think people really know how to do the calculations correctly, or they don't even know that they need to calculate. I think a lot of people don't even know they need to even do some calculations, right? So, but those are big things you ask. How much capital what am I willing to risk? What am I willing to gain? And you can do the dollar amount. And then if you say, okay, I don't want to risk no more than 1% per trade, 0.5%, 2% per trade, and then you gotta make those equate. If it's 1%, if $100 is 1%, then you need 10,000. If 300 is 3%, then you need 3,300, right? So you have to know that mathematical formula so that you can have the right amount of capital in your account. And that way we don't have greed, we don't have desperation, we don't have over leveraging, because you can now comfortably secure your $100 day, your $1,000 day, your $10,000 day, because you now know the right amount of capital that you need. And you already know, hey, worst case scenario, like, my risk management is laughable because they like, that's really, really small, right? But it's what works for me. I'm comfortable losing a half a percent, a 0.25%. It doesn't make me budge. You got I got $150,000 account, and I'm losing 0.25% of that entire. Guys, it's only $125 per trade. Worst case, $250 per trade. So, and sometimes I'll take it up maybe $300, but compared to $150,000, that's laughable. Somebody else, I'm going to risk $10,000 with that amount of capital. I'm going to risk $1,000 with that amount of capital. Okay, y'all can do that. But I don't just think about me winning all the time. I always think about when that loss is going to come around. That's what I always think about. That's what I think about the most. When is that loss going to come around? So when I have a loss, I don't even dang near see it, because my loss was so minimum compared to my wins. And what a lot of people do is they won't even calculate what they're willing to lose. So when they have that loss, it has wiped out all of their gains. Now your loss, you had won 3 trades in a row, but you lost the last one. But your last one wiped out all the success you just had. That's because you haven't even determined what you're willing to lose. All right. Your risk can't be greater than your reward, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So I hope that made some sense. I will release this video in the morning. All right. I think I owe y'all last week too. Y'all forgive me. I've been traveling. No, week before last. Oh Lord, I'm 2 weeks behind. Okay. I promise I will get that out to you guys tomorrow. But this call in particular, please make sure you guys are understanding that. Like, shout out to everybody in my signals chat, but y'all gotta understand that risk management. Because I know people who can still blow an account. We can go 7-0 and they can still blow their account. And on that Monday, I can send out a trade in to go into a loss, and they'll clear out all of their wins from the previous week because they over leveraged 10 times what they were supposed to invest. All right. So please get that into your perspective. Understand that. Start studying that. And I'm gonna release this call on YouTube as well. Okay. I think that Any other questions while I start sharing my screen here? Did y'all get some value real quick? Did that put some things into perspective? And I'm going to drop this these messages right quick. Send a copy. Okay, so y'all go to the Zoom chat box right quick. I'm just gonna copy and paste over what I wrote in my notes. And if you know, whoever left, they missed it. So take what you want from that. There you go. So I'm not even sharing my screen. Okay, hold on. Well, I cannot believe the US dollar is that strong right now. That is blowing my mind. Okay. Zoom start broadcast. All right, guys. So I just want to give you some perspective right quick. So one of the advantages of being in my signals chat is that you get to study my mind. You actually get the behind the scenes of what I'm looking at. As every single trade I always drop before. So you start to see the consistency, which also begins to build your eyesight. Like you start to see like what I'm looking for. At some point you start being able to trade on your own. All right. So this was a signal I sent out, I think it was Friday or Thursday, whenever the 7th was. So either Thursday or Friday. So boom, this was our second entry. And the entry is right here between 791 and 81 level. And then price finally came down and hit the first target. All right. But in the midst of these positions, I know I'm losing $300 per position. All right. You got to know what you're losing per position so you're not panicking and worried and crying. All right. Second target hit. Okay. And then third target hit. Okay. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it turned around. The first signal, I think all three hit. Yes. The first one shot up 60 pips. Okay, cool. So with DAEDAEKEYKEY, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go right back to the same. Wow, it's whipsawing like crazy right now. All right, so these lines are still on here, but it happened. Where's the date? One second, I'm sorry, the 7th. Okay, cool. So to be on this one. So with DAEDAEKEYKEY is pretty simple, and people are blown every time they see the simplicity behind this technique because I don't add anything to a chart. I don't do indicators. I literally just look at what was already there, and I found a pattern inside the markets. So what I do is called consolidation date night. In the slow months, you'll start seeing a lot of what we call whipsawing, which means like you're on a seesaw, and things begin to go back and forth a lot. So you'll see like movements just bouncing up and down a lot. The DAEDAEKEYKEY what I love so much is when I can catch an entry at any given moment, and if there's a wave to follow, I'm gonna ride that thing all the way to the end of the earth. All right. So for instance, this is what a reversal zone is up here at the top. So this is what I call a high risk entry because it reached its peak, and I just press sell hoping that it would just drop at some point. So we caught that entry. And it's but right here at this level is what I call a reversal zone as well, because every time it came here, it went back up, came here again and went back up, came here again and went back up. So you have a strong support level, but also a reversal. So you didn't want to come here and press sell. You wanted to wait till we had a counter break below those levels, all right, which is where DAEDAE leaves the house, and he's knocking and knocking. So let me give y'all a new analogy right here. Okay, so let me remove this off. So what happens is I'm typically waiting on consolidation is what I call date night. So you got a date night. DAEDAE is the red candle. Kiki is the green candle. Okay. So this is date night. And at the level of support, it has to be at the edge of the body. Okay. So date night is consolidation. The edge of the body is your support level, which I hope you guys know basic support and resistance. This red candle broke out of the date night. All right. And when it broke out, these started to come back and retest in the zone. Notice right here, our entry zone is 244 and 186. Let me see where I put the 186 at. Okay, I see where I put it. All right, cool. So This was the date night. So I guess I gave the entry from this level. This is the date night. Day broke out right here. This candle left the date. All right. And price keeps retesting inside this zone. So I want you to see how much structure we had. All right. Oh, that's not the before pick. I'm sorry, guys. That's the last pick. Hold on, everybody, clown. Okay, here's the before pick. There we go. So this is the structure we had. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So all of these candles took place. All right. But notice when I came here, we entered right here, and notice what color the candle is. The candle was green. Why is this doing that? Sorry, guys. This candle right here turned green. All right. So as soon as it hit up there, say, hey guys, we're gonna do, it's probably either sell limit or sell execution. Right when it was at that blue level, press sale right now. Dede is knocking at the door. So let me give y'all the scenario. Date night, Dede leaves the house because he told Kiki that her feet look like Krispy Kreme donuts. Dede leaves the house. He's knocking on the door, asking Kiki for forgiveness. He's knocking on the door, asking Kiki for forgiveness. He's knocking on the door, asking Kiki, baby, I'm sorry. Knocking on the door. He keep knocking. All right. Y'all ever not asked for some forgiveness before? All right. And so I said, he going to come back again and ask for forgiveness. So I said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to press sale when Daddy is knocking on the door. Now, that top level is what I call the door. The bottom is what I usually call the doorbell. Then I see them as one. As long as he's within this zone, all right, we're going to press sale. Then it came to the zone, we pressed sale, and he left the house. Okay? That's really how the markets work. It's really that simple. Believe me, it is. Okay? Y'all with me, yes or no? So in this screenshot, you're probably seeing, well, that candle is green. All candles that have a wick on it used to be the opposite color. I don't trade colors, I trade structure. Okay, but I just use the colors in some scenarios to teach it. So Dede rings on the doorbell. That wick spikes right through the blue line. The trade is activated. It comes down, and within the first candle, guess what? All 3 take profits hit. He literally went up to the blue line and smashed all 3 take profits within the first hour. All right. Then the trade continues to drop. All right. Still sitting idle for a little bit there. And then boom. Got down to the 674 level. Okay. All because Kiki feet look like donuts. All right. So then I think this is where I sent the second entry out, but it only dropped like 20 pips, and then it turned around, and now you got some whipsawing. Okay. So bring these levels down, remove that one. And this was another entry as well, but I think I'm just trailing at this point. So here's another date night. So you caught the entry up here. We're not worried about that no more. Okay. Another date night. And that's why I like this. So this is usually what I see on the screen. This is all I would typically have. Let's come here. So this is all I would typically have when I come to a live chart. All I have is consolidated moments. Dede left the house. He's knocking on the door, asking Kiki for forgiveness. And I'm hoping I can get one more knock on the door. So I'll either send out a sell limit or a sell execution at our 43.63 level. Hey, everybody, press the sell limit at this level. And then price activates on the wick right there. If y'all can see it. But this, boom, Dede come right back up. And that last wick hits the doorbell. Boom. And secured another 30 pips. Okay. So it's really just breaks and retests, and people make fun of it, but I promise y'all, it's literally the same thing over and over and over again. All right. I can go through all of these. Euro odd. Oh, this one didn't activate, but I'm gonna show y'all the picture. So when I sent it out, I wanted to do execution, but it started dropping so fast. But look at the blue levels. All right. Date night. Dede leaves the house on that red candle. He leaves. Sniper entry on that first one. If not, he's ringing the door. He's ringing the door and takes off, and he never came back, by the way. All right. And so that one made me mad because I wanted everybody to get in that one. But you see how far it dropped? This was the entry right here. That big green candle shot up, and the red one turned around and came down. This one tried to come back up, but it didn't reach it didn't reach the zone. But just from a break and retest, date night, Dede left the house, knocks on the door, asking Kiki for forgiveness. That trade had dropped over uh 80 pips. Sorry, I was doing my calculations. Okay. Oh, 140 pips. Am I math that wrong? 50, 62, 49. Oh yeah, 140 pips, right? Off from a break and retest. So that's why I tell everybody it's really that simple. Okay. Another date night. Okay. Here's it before. All right. Date night. All right. Right here at the top, I got my support levels, my blue and my wick. This red candle, that far right leg, Day left the house. The minute Day leaves the house, I am looking for my entries on a 1 hour frame. And I said, all right, I need him to come back and knock inside this blue zone. I don't care if it's the door-to-door bell. I don't care. As long as it's somewhere by it. I'm executing or I'm doing limits. Okay. So boom. Hey everybody, press sale. Okay. Guess what? Boom. Price retrace. There was some news that came out. Price retrace almost knocked us out on our stop loss, but it didn't hit it. As soon as it spiked up, it turned around and spiked right back down. As you guys will see on that large green candle and that far red candle, price shot up and came right back down, secured the the two take profits, and then boom, secured the last one. All right. Now it's risk-free trading. And and then if you held it, if you held it, you got over 70 pips. So, and this is a second entry right here. I can't really put my mouse on it, but this is a second entry right here. All those wicks are spiking up at. Okay. But I want you guys to know that's literally all I trade. I don't trade if the market doesn't have the position. All right. I'm not trading if it's not there. I'm not forcing trades. I'm not looking for like right now. I would love to send a signal, but there are no setups in the market. High probability setups. You can come in here and try to scram if you want to. All right. I also look at the daily and 4 hour frames for confirmation. So look at this. This is a DAEDAEKEYKEY setup, but this is not a confirmed setup. All right. Let me make that make sense. You're going to see DAEDAEKEYKEY on every single asset class because as long as something breaking out, you're talking about DAEDAEKEYKEY. All right. This is an entire move all the way down. Okay. Break and retest it. Came back and hit the wick entry right here. Support. Breakout, knocked on the door. That's an entry. Support, breakout, knocked on the door. That's an entry. Support, breakout, knock on the door. That's an entry. Support, breakout, knock on the door. No retest yet. Guess what? I am not sending this out. Why, BBURRELL? Because when I go to the daily time frame and I look left, guess what? This is the lowest it has ever been in its entire history. So for me, I can place it in my personal account because I know this is a high risk entry because at any given moment, this trade can decide that it want to turn around and go back up to the sky. Y'all get what I'm saying? Yes or no? It could turn around and do this on me. I'm like, hey, y'all press sale, but it says psych, got him. We finna go back up into a bullish market. Y'all get me? Yes or no? Okay. So that's why I can't just be out here hitting sell all willy-nilly. Okay. I got a buy sitting on this GU and EU are doing the exact same thing. Look left. I'm finna go left. Look at the purple line. Boom. That's 2020. That's when the pandemic just hit. But overall, this pair, every time it hits the purple line, what does it do? They go back up. So no, I'm not gonna send y'all no trade because it's at a high risk entry zone. Okay. So I got that one on my watch list. NZD USD, probably at the bottom too. Yep. A lot of these pairs are in their reversal zones, so it ain't nothing for us to do but allow time to pass by and allow the markets to create more structure. All right. UK was the one I sent out to my signals group last week. Now it's just whoopsawing. All right. It's just bouncing up and down. Now, actually, if somebody want to press sell once it gets to this 24 level, 24, 28 level, they could possibly take that entry. I should probably send this one out because this entry right here is right after DAEDAEKEYKEY date night. So check this out. Date night, we caught this entry right here. This drop was a drop we caught last week. Okay. But notice how when it broke out of this zone, it retested right here, came back, is retesting right here. It's retesting right here. So it could give you a possible retest right here again and sell. But you also have to be mindful of two things. You have to be mindful of Is there any U.S. news coming up? Because the U.S. dollar is strong as all get out right now. All right, I have never seen the U.S. dollar this strong. But notice from this entry zone to the highest peak of this wick, that is a 20 pip difference from here to here. That's a 20 pip difference. So you got to know off rip that your stop loss got to be at least 20 pips from the entry zone. This is the entry zone. Don't have a 20 pip stop loss. You're going to get smacked out just because of a little, probably a news release or something. All right. But I'm not finished. I got to finish my top down analysis. Let me go to the daily. Let's see where that purple zone at. Ooh, I like that on the daily. All right. The last time it was this high was December 2020. Before that, it sat right on top of that thing. Let me look before 2020. Okay, so 2019 at support level. The purple line was a support level. But hey, since April 22, that thing been smacking and turning around and selling. All right. So that's the level of risk you got to decide. Do I really want to go ahead and take it? Nobody's right or wrong in trading, guys. It's about what you're willing to risk and lose. All right. Your risk tolerance. Some people like to ride roller coasters. Some people don't like to ride roller coasters. Some people don't mind jumping out of an airplane. Some people do mind jumping out of an airplane. Does that make sense? That is exactly what trading is. You're deciding do you want to ride a roller coaster, jump out the plane, play paintball. That's what it is, guys. All right. So boom. So I'm just giving you examples of why I just don't be like press sell on everything. All right. I mean, press buy and sell on everything because I also do top down confirmations. Okay. So yeah. So now you decide, do you want to press sell at the 243, 285 level? You set your risk and you call it a day. You go to sleep. All right. It's not that deep. All right. Somebody else may want to probably catch a buy right here. It might come down, hit buy, and hit right here, and then turn around and sell. That doesn't make the person who hit a buy wrong, y'all. All right, that's just what they wanted to trade. So y'all have to stop trying to compare yourself to other people. All right, you get where the trade is at for you. Get the bag and call it a day. All right, somebody probably sell on the same pair. Somebody else bought on the same pair. They may be looking at something totally different. Okay. So, but that's it. Somebody asked me to look at gold right quick. Gold is a reversal zone. I'm not gonna do that. Gold sitting dead on support. 2021 support. Yeah, gold gonna have to give me a bullish trend real quick. Or if you want to sell it, and look at these spikes. Good Lord, what news came out? From here to here, depending on your broker. I'm done scanning the markets. Y'all gotta do that yourself. That's 100 pips. From here to here's 100 pips. All right. So those are just things y'all got to consider. All right. But again, it doesn't make you wrong. If you want to press sell on gold, or you want to press buy on gold, that's your risk tolerance. This right here is jumping out of an airplane. If you want to jump out of an airplane tonight, you can do that. It doesn't make you wrong. Please remember what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to do that because I'm a surfer. I like to ride the waves. I don't like to hope that I make my money. If I get in gold, it's gonna be in my watch list at a 10-cent lot size right now. But I'm not watching. It's not even giving me a trend. All right, it's been consolidating since July 6th. So I need some news to break this out and start a trend. But if you want to go ahead and get it gold, you can buy it or sell it. It doesn't make you wrong. What makes you wrong is that you over leverage your account and don't honor your risk management. Does that make sense, family? That's the only thing that makes you wrong in trading. Over leveraging and not honoring risk management. Please understand that. You could be an airplane trader, a parachute trader, scuba diving trader, or you can just ride safely in your Honda and with your seatbelt on and wait for the perfect, most conservative setups. It makes nobody wrong. The only thing that's wrong is when you over leverage and you don't have the right amount of capital in your account. That is the only thing that makes you wrong as a trader. You can lose 3 trades in a row, 7 trades in a row, as long as you lost them within your risk management. That's what matters. All right. And your 10th trade, you can win and exceed all your 7 losses because you gained 300 pips on that one trade. Please understand. Okay. Like, I can't wait for y'all to get this academy, man. There's so much stuff people don't understand, like the right perspective they have to have. But y'all had me teach a little bit tonight. I'm thirsty. Y'all had me teach a little bit tonight. Okay. Y'all got some value tonight. So we done. I gotta go ahead and check on my other business. Y'all got me thirsty. Y'all got some value? Remember, you ain't wrong unless you're over Larry. That's the only time you're wrong, baby. All right. That is the only time you are wrong. Amazing call. Y'all had me thinking tonight. Thank you guys again for. Yes, ma'am. We got one more question. What you got? I'm gonna give it to you. 60 seconds. I'm kidding. What you got? What you got? What's my photos? What platform do you use for news? Oh, excellent question. Wait a minute. Where's my Zoom? I'm sorry, y'all. My phone is screen recording. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. My FX book and Forex Factor. My FX book, don't use the My FX book app because it doesn't, for some reason, it got me on a trade one time. It doesn't show all the news that it produces on the internet site. So myfxbook.com and forexfactory.com. If you want to get real in depth, you can check out Bloomberg. You can check out, what's the other one? Bloomberg. Oh, I'm having a brain fart. Hold on, let me see what the other one's called. Those are the main two. For my Forex Factory and my FX book. All right. And news doesn't mean bad trades, by the way. If you know how to trade the news, like for instance, some euro news can drop right now and make the euro stronger. So if I'm trading EUR USD, I know I need to possibly buy that trade. If the structure shows me that it's going to go up, if the news gives me potential strength on the euro, if the euro is sitting on the left side of the pair and the pair gets stronger, that means it would get stronger than the US dollar, which also makes it congruent. I believe we actually just trade news. People make it separate, but I believe the markets are the news. They say technicals, they say fundamentals, but I believe it's the same. So it's the same events being produced every day. We just trade the data, right? We just trade the data on those events happening every day. Just coincidentally, it's the same events year after year after year after year, right? The only difference that happened this year was the war, the Ukraine and Russian war. But the same interest rates drop, the same unemployment rates drop. It's always the same information. You know, the word is in such a paradigm, it's so systematic. So that's why people don't realize it's so easy to trade them, all right? Because they think the same way over and over again, year after year after year, which is not too much of a good thing because we need to be progressing. But yeah, man, my FX book, Forex Factory, excellent question. Again, I'm gonna drop the playback tomorrow, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're on my DAEDAEKEYKEY Signals app, I thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. And remember, the DAEDAEKEYKEY Academy is coming soon. I'm so excited. It would be very, very elite and very, very thorough. So things that I'm not able to teach on a weekly basis. It'll be tons of value, and it'll be a self-paced type of vehicle. All right. And you don't have a conversation with me until you get to the end. All right. So you got to get through there for us to talk. All right. But anyway, you have a blessed night. I appreciate you guys again. And yeah, send me some shout outs, whatever you guys need to know. And you have a wonderful night. Be safe.